All right, let's get started. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome to the Embarrassing Our Wives podcast with John and Andy. My name's Andy. This is my co-host, John. How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me out here in the beautiful Issaquah studios. It is April 9th, I believe, and this is our kind of official kickoff of the Embarrassing Our Wives format. So excited to be here. We are going to catch up on your Disneyland trip. I can tell you got lots of sun out in California.
Yeah, right. It was probably 63 degrees on average while I was down there. So
must be a spray tan or something. Just kidding. And then we are going to do a round of That Guy's an Asshole. It's a little segment we tried in the past. We're going to do that again, and then we're going to wrap with kind of the signature segment, Embarrassing Our Wives, where we're going to recount one of the many times probably in the last 3-4 weeks that we embarrassed our wives. So yeah, basically, this is kind of the reset of the podcast. There's a few ways you can follow us. You can visit our website. It's TEOW podcast.com. John had a marketing idea. He talked about, it'd be catchy if people knew that it was like meow with a T, like TEOW.
Beautiful. So my wife's throwing up right now. She's in marketing. She couldn't be more unimpressed.
Nice. So TEOW podcast.com. That's TEOW podcast.com. Or you can follow us on Twitter. That would be at TEO podcast on Twitter.
TEOW podcast.
TEOW podcast. Yeah. At TEOW podcast. TEOW podcast. So yeah, and then most importantly, by the time you hear this, it's available on iTunes, and subscribe, rate us 5 stars, please, and rate us honestly, constructive feedback, leave reviews.
No, we don't need honest feedback. We need 5s, or if you don't like it, just stop listening and don't give us a 0.
But seriously, subscribe, share with a friend, and just thank you for being here. And so just kind of as a one-time, most of the rapidly growing audience, I'd like to point out 500% growth
at least
listenership. So that's exciting. We're just going to set it up for one time for everyone, kind of let you know the format here. So it's the Embarrassing Our Wives podcast. This is about two friends catching up, talking about current times, past times, making fun of each other, and undoubtedly embarrassing our wives along the way. And my name's Andy, and I would basically explain myself as being happily married to a beautiful wife, Care Bear, who we've been together. It'll be 10 years this September, and 17 years we've been together in total. Dad of 2 boys, both. I'm involved with wiping both their asses still. So I'm at that stage. One's getting close, but yeah, still currently cleaning those buttholes beyond mine. ADHD and neurotic, and I grew up as a wannabe gangster, so that's kind of where I come from. I'm the moving on up story, I think, out of the group here, but yeah, so that's me. And then John, how would you sum up yourself in some rude adjectives?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'd say I'm unhappily married with an ugly wife. But we've been together. We've been married for 6 years.
Absolutely not true, yeah.
Been together for 11 or 12 years now. I always forget when we started. Do you start dating first time you have sex, or do you say, when's the first date? So we don't know what that is. Super nervous, neurotic, weird, just very OCD. So I have all those issues as well.
Going for you, world traveler, I'd say.
Yeah,
handsome,
not quite.
Solid beard game.
Very, very nice flesh-colored beard. Thank you.
And then for us, if you've been together with Sarah for 12 years, then our bromance must be about the same distance or thereabout.
Yep.
Started at a majestic Lake Bellevue at the Crab Pot. Me and Karen walked across the crusty, sticky floors.
Slippery with crab pot butter and garlic butter everywhere.
Yeah, laid eyes on you behind the bar, Flair bartending back there, and it was truly, I'd have to say, like bromance at first sight, dude.
Absolutely, love at first sight. Yeah. We connected eyes, and we knew in that moment.
Yeah, and then flash forward a few months later, I'm working there doing a terrible job, just just doing everything wrong that you'd expect an employee, taking medication on the job, we'd call it, wearing some dirty ass oversized khakis. But we won a gift certificate to a French restaurant. We paid your brother $20 to take us downtown in his Ford Ranger.
That was pre-Uber days.
Yeah, $20 Uber. We had to squeeze in the back. I was hella fat. Did I sit in the front, or you guys must have let me sit in the front?
Did you even fit in the front? I don't remember. Yeah. We put you in the back of the truck.
Somehow we squeezed me into the truck. We went to a French restaurant on like a Tuesday, because that's when the gift cert was available. Drank some teenies and some Manhattans, and then it was, so here we are, 12 years later, recounting on the good old days.
Yep, absolutely.
So that's a one-time kind of kickoff. Most of the audience knows us, but when the handful of listeners moves to dozens of listeners, our ultimate goal to have dozens of listeners, now they'll know where we're coming from. So let's just kind of jump into it, man. Disneyland. I'm very jealous, although it's a little weird for a 40-year-old man to be so excited about Disneyland year after year. But it's not like you're coming from Istanbul and you've never been there, bro. Like,
yeah. Plus, there's a closer Disneyland to Istanbul than the one in California. They have. I think they have one in Shanghai or somewhere else, Hong Kong. But yeah, it was great, man. It was really good. We were down there with, when you go to Disneyland, Sarah and I usually go down there with just me and her, so it's a very easy trip. I know exactly what to do, I have the most efficient routes in order to hit the most amount of rides, hit the most amount of alcohol with those rides. I have it all dialed in. I know exactly what restaurants we like, what we're going to do.
No doubt.
Yeah, and we usually go to Disney World. So this time we went to Disneyland, and we went with 11 people. So we went with 4 kids and, 5 other adults, and then Sarah and I. So first off, when we went to the airport,
do you not have our address? I didn't get the invite for this family.
Oh no, you didn't get it.
Is it Eventbrite through Facebook? We missed it. It's okay. Go on.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds like a nightmare. But go on, especially for you.
It's very different, right? But then we get to experience amazing things that I've never seen before, like they have this thing called the Bippity Boppity Boutique, where they basically make these little girls princesses, and it's nuts. They do it from head to toe. They give them a dress, they give them this full makeover, and it's in this exclusive area of the park that you can't get into. So you get to experience things like Sarah's never going to go become a princess. No adults probably do that. At least I hope no adults do that. So we got to do fun things like that. But
you got dressed up like a princess? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's hard to be, going back to what you said, it's hard to be close to 40 years old and not look like a pedophile when you're so excited about Disney. But
that's makeup is so pretty, little Isabella.
Yeah.
You are a princess.
Yeah, thanks for getting fucking glitter on everything in my luggage. But it is there's such difficulties too. That's one of the highlights, seeing the kids' faces light up and think they have magic powers and shit like that. It's really cool. But then it's 11 people. We're talking how many times do you go pee in a day? 6, maybe 5 or 6 times. When you have 11 people going at least 5 or 6 times, and everyone's on a different schedule, it becomes very challenging. And especially if you have kids. You're taking your kid to go to the bathroom even when they don't have to go, because you don't want a mistake or an accident.
Oh, yeah, and you got 2 kids. They never have to go at the same time. But it's one poop leads to another, and it's dude, we're here. So you guys planned it so everything was being done at the same time, group activity across the board.
So if you're going to do it the most efficient way possible, you can get to the park, you can get these fast passes so you don't have to wait in certain lines. So it was crucial for us to do a lot of things in a group. Otherwise, you have to wait an hour in line versus 0 minutes in line.
Damn.
So, yeah, deep. But going back to the bathroom thing, you see these kids washing their hands in the bathroom. It's I swear to God, no kid in the history of the world has ever washed their hands properly. I know you've bragged about your kids having great... I guarantee you, if I watch them, they're missing 3 or 4 fingers every time. And they hit soap in the right hand. The left hand's barely getting any soap. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah, I'd take that. I have one little dirty fucker too. I won't say which one, but yeah, one works a little harder.
I could guess. But yeah, so then you think like it's just disgusting, and then there's probably kid piss all over the park. There's probably some adult piss from people who don't wash their hands. So it kind of becomes this gross thing. And then I was reading that some people, like Sarah and I, have a lot of great memories there, right? And if Sarah would ever pass away, what some people do is if their spouse passes away, they bring their ashes and kind of spread it all throughout Disneyland or Disney World because they had so many memories there.
Yeah.
So you combine ash with like kids piss everywhere,
Yeah.
that the place is just disgusting.
Poop farticles or poop
Farticles.
that's what I just made that farticles. I was like, that's what I was getting at though. The washing hands thing though, that's not just little kids. I don't know if it's just the demographic I work with, but I frequently see dudes in the urinal go pee and then just go to wash their hands and just run water over the 3 fingers that touch their penis. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And or the
Where's
people who go there and turn on the water, and within 1 nanosecond they're already getting paper towels.
That's
It's like
what I'm
you
saying.
didn't even put your hand in the water. You're just wasting water. You're not fooling anyone. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, no, that's I call that out at my work though. I mean, I have a running list of like aggressive hand washers. You know what I mean?
We used to have a list back when Tom G worked at where I'm at now. We would have a list of offenders, and we would know, make sure you wash your hands, especially when this guy's in office instead of working at home.
No high fives with that one.
No shaking hands, no nothing.
Can I get some of that popcorn out of your bag? No.
Yeah.
Wash your hands, you fuck.
Yeah, fist bump at best. It's too bad you can't do anything either. Like you can't go tell them, go wash your hands, dude. Because then you look like a dick.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, I mean, what else, man? I mean, Disneyland.
Yeah, so kind of going off on a side tangent. What's your first memory of life? Like, what's the first thing you can remember, and how old were you?
Oh, I don't know. I have a bad memory. I was born with it, and I've done some damage to it along the years. It must have been around 3. I mean, it's somewhere at like my old house in Fairfield. Like, yeah. Like,
and then you probably
cereal
remember
or
like 1 or 2 things a year or 2 after that, right? Like you can't remember shit when you're young.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I had a pretty significant life event, so I remember things around that. But even then, it's choppy. Yeah.
Yeah. So then it becomes this weird thing where, of course, parenting is incredibly important when your kid's that young. But how weird is it for you having 2 kids that aren't going to remember 90% of their lives so far? Like, how do you sleep at night knowing your kids are just going to forget?
That's the only way I can sleep. Thank good Lord they're forgetting. Like, why was Dad so unreasonably mad today? Like, different reaction than the day before. No, I count on them forgetting, though. I'd like to think I'm a good dad. Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, well, that's not the only reason why we don't take them to a bunch of places.
Sure.
We're also busy, and I'm lazy, and I'm a homebody. But yeah, no, I mean, especially when they're real young. I mean, imagine flying a kid down to go to Disneyland when they're like 2. It's like, that's just...
Well, we had a
younger.
2-year-old and we had a 6-month-year-old, but the 6-month-year-old is just there. Like he could be anywhere.
Yeah.
They're not going to leave him at home.
Yeah.
So they bring him along.
Just making like honey mustard diapers. Like, and you're lucky it was like cool there when you were there.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, well, we're going to go. I think my kids are old enough. So I think after I work for a company that's may soon experience a nice event. And if that happens, I think we're going to Disneyland. I'm going to seriously try to
like you're an athlete or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like an endurance runner, like the way this has been going. But
so I don't think anyone would call you an endurance runner. But yeah, the other crazy parts about. By the way, that's fantastic. You guys are going. Let me know. I'll hook you up with exactly what you should do and the fastest. Like I have huge spreadsheets of wait times and how to structure your Disneyland trip. So
sounds thrilling.
Hit me up.
Yeah,
it's
done.
I've spent a lot of time on it. But the other weird part about Disneyland is when you see, and it's rare, when you see like a hardcore gangster walking around wearing all blue, saggy pants, like walking with a limp, and it's like, dude, you're walking with your wife and like 3-year-old kid. Like this isn't you
that what
can't
you said
look.
To him? Is that what you said to him?
Yeah.
Face to face.
Well, they got metal detectors, so at least he's not going to shoot me. He might stab me with a plastic knife or something. But
You're
it's
like, yo, essay.
yeah. You're
What are
not
you doing
cool,
here?
man. Like, no matter how hard you're limping, it doesn't
Yeah.
look cool. You're at Disneyland.
Yeah, right.
And like, what if some guy comes out of the corner wearing all red?
Yeah, no, that's a legit.
He's not gonna
concern
do
to cover.
anything.
Oh well, hopefully not. You know,
They're not. What are they gonna do? Fight in Disneyland with their daughters dressed up as princesses right next to them? It's just.
That's why
it's
I'm more
weak.
scared of like young gangsters versus like older gangsters. Because a
Yeah.
couple 17-year-olds, like, you know, that could happen. That's legit. I'd run away like a woman. I'd be out. Like,
But they
I'd grab my kids and Karen and we'd be gone.
they full on pat you down though. You can't get in with anything except for water bottles full of vodka, which we did often. Let me see. So
What'd you do when you saw that dude? By the way, look down, run away.
I laughed
a
a little
I
bit.
Your phone.
I pretended like I was looking directly at him. Then if he looked at me, I'd look away.
I know exactly that's what happened.
Yeah, he probably didn't even look at me. But and then what do you think about caricature art, or how I don't even know how you say it, but where they do like a cartoon type drawing of you or your family or your kids? What's your general thought on that?
We have a whole album of it. Actually, it's
Please God, tell me you're lying.
Super
Please
important
God,
to us. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
from the Monroe Fair or something.
Yeah, from the Mukilteo waterfront. Every time we just get a nice little portrait.
Yeah,
No.
Dimitri's down there just drawing pictures of families.
Don't call CPS, but I don't even think we have a single actual paid family portrait. So we need to get cracking on that. So my opinion of those are low, and I'll go on a limb. People who like them, my opinion of people who like those caricature arts are probably pretty low as well. I judge you.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the right answer. Yeah, I was worried you were going to go the other way.
Never even looks like it. It's like it's like a circle. Like it's stupid. It doesn't even.
I have a buddy at work who's one of our followers or subscribers,
so
and
don't talk
he
shit.
loves them.
Oh man,
he gets them every time. So we just lost our first listener.
Shoot, no, it's like 350%
But
growth.
it's like, what are you doing with that?
Actually,
what are you doing with 25 of these things?
Yeah, well, I think if you have that type of scale, then you have good taste, and that means that if you have 3 or 4, then you're lame. But if you have like 25, then that means
That means you're 5 times lamer than the person with
taste,
4.
No. Everyone's got their own traditions, you know. But I don't have that one. So do you guys? I bet you there's some caricature art of you and Sarah from over the years.
No, 0. Never done it.
Nice.
I don't want to sit down and do it. And that actually just reminds me of Sarah has a friend that she grew up with, who we've kind of lost contact with, but her husband proposed to her at Disneyland during the artist, whatever it's called, caricature art.
Yeah.
And he turned and showed it to her, and the guy had a ring in the art. And then she looked over at him, and he had the ring.
Oh, that's
right
clever.
there.
That's not bad. Are they still together?
No, it's pretty bad. But yeah, they are still together. They're doing
That'd be
good.
a way better story if they're divorced.
Yeah, that'll be a different picture. That'll be like a divorce papers, when they turn around and show the picture.
That's funny. Yeah, that's good. No, we're gonna go. I'm scared though. I get like motion sickness really bad. I'm scared of going there and being just like lame, like I can't even do any of this stuff.
So try to take Dramamine or
I've
something,
heard that,
see if that helps.
Yeah.
It may not, but
So
do you think it's in your head or do you think it's real?
I
it's a
get
physical.
motion sick. And then the problem with Dramamine is I only took it one time, and I took like 9 when I was like
Smart.
14.
Smart.
And I was seeing I was using the restroom at the pool in my apartments, and there was like dragons talking to me on the wall. So I was
Jesus.
like, yeah, damn it. So I ruined that. But
Are you sure that wasn't acid?
No, I know this dude named Dustin went and stole it from the QFC, and he's like, I know how we can have fun this summer day. And I was like, oh, and does it hurt your stomach? And he's like, no, but yeah, you take 9 Dramamine and it hurts your stomach, and you'll see some fucking dragons talking to you. So
Yeah, it sounds like it hurts your
I'll
brain.
Take one though. I'll take one, and maybe that will help me.
Yeah, you should definitely try it.
Yeah, is Space Mountain still a thing, or is that like okay, cool?
That
It has to
one
be
that
lame,
one
though.
makes me dizzy,
Oh,
so I would say don't start with that
It's all
one.
rackety.
Work your way up to it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. So any other exciting stories from Disneyland or what?
The only other thing is there's a lot of fat people on scooters driving around you got to watch out for. They all get to skip the lines too because Disneyland caters to people who have
Yeah,
disabilities.
eating disabilities, yeah.
So they get their whole family. So you get right to the front of the line,
Ah.
and then they get their whole family just right in through the exit. They can get right on the ride.
Oh,
So
man.
it's really unpleasant.
Yeah. I bet
but
your reaction to those people were way more abundant than to
to the gangster.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
local.
mean
You were
mugging.
like, yeah.
I'm mean mugging a fat 45-year-old woman all day long versus a 30-year-old Mexican gangster.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, maybe I'll put some weight on before we go to Disneyland. I can get back up to like to that picture that's on our podcast cover, and then they'll let me just get in a wheelchair and I'll be good to go.
You don't even need the wheelchair. You could just go straight to
Just
the
right
exit,
there.
waddle right up.
That's good stuff. All right. Well, yeah. So I was thinking about, coming up with ideas, thinking about what I'm going through, maybe even how what I'm going through could be different than what you're experiencing being a dad and all that. And so I don't know if this ever happened to you. I was totally this way, but my son we accidentally left access to the app store open on his on his Kindle, and basically he was searching through different games, came across one called Five Nights with Freddy, which is about this robot bear Freddy Krueger looking frickin' thing. That's all. He couldn't download the game, of course. Doesn't but just seeing the previews, and so we had like 4 nights of absolute anxiety. Freaked out, I totally did that. Child's Play for one was the first one the first one was The Wizard of Oz, which must have been fucked because
that wasn't a scary movie.
It's scary if your mom just passed her. I'm not gonna get all emo. I heard listener feedback, but the witch scene scared the shit out of me when I was 3. But Child's Play would be the most. When I was doing something I wasn't supposed to do, watching that movie in 2nd grade. And just being a little bitch that worked things up in my head. So anyway, I was dealing with that. I'm just a freaked out little kid about.
Is it an adult game, or is it even a game? Is it a movie?
No,
what
it's
is
a
it?
game. Yeah,
okay.
It's like a franchise about this guy and little murderer teddy bear. And you try to explain to him, it's not real. Don't worry about it. Good luck.
Yeah, so you have to pay for it. Thank God he wasn't able to pay for it, right? Is that the...
Yeah, you can't download it, but just seeing the previews, And then I think we were at this place, and some kid there had said he knew the game. He was making up lies. You know how kids lie. And, you know. So it's just screwed up, man. But yeah, were you the kind of cool kid who didn't get scared of movies, or...
No, I was the kid who, I'd be like, my mom doesn't want me to watch this, and I'd leave. I wouldn't, I was the opposite of the cool kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But I knew enough. I'm scared of, I was so scared of a lot of things when I was younger.
Yeah.
I didn't need any extra ammo to add to my anxiety.
You're like, fuck Freddy, dude. I'm scared of salmonella. Did you cook that chicken enough? Yeah, I guess I don't know why. It's an anxiety thing, but I was free. I remember Child's Play. The way they punished me too was, basically, I might have already told this story before, but basically I was taking a bath by myself, which for a 2nd grader, maybe that's normal. I guess that's normal. But
No, it's gay.
They just probably wanted me up there away from them because it was so irritating. But they snuck in and threw a My Buddy doll over, which is basically what Chucky's based on, over the shower. That fucking scarred me for life.
He hasn't taken a bath since.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the Exorcist was the next one. I gave up on that. I had access to watch it, and her had turned around and puked.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's it for me. I'm not even trying.
Yeah. I don't even like scary movies. Sarah loves them. She's always trying to get me to watch them, and some people, she's freaking out on the couch and she loves every second of it, where I'm just uncomfortable trying to plug my ears to lessen the
blow.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose situation because it either scares the shit out of you and then you're laying up in bed like a wussy saying prayers, holding your pee, even as a grown man, or it doesn't scare you enough. You're like, that's stupid. I'm not gonna be freaked out for 3 weeks, so I hate that dumb movie. There's no in between,
Yep, that's a good point.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity was the last one I watched. I just gave up, dude.
That one scared me.
That scared the shit out of me. I watched it by myself. I had taken some medicine, a little bit of meds.
Dayquil?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, herbal medicines. And this was a long time ago, of course. And yeah, it just scared me, dude. It was too much. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, too real, you know, like
Yeah.
the spirits. I mean, luckily there's a few corny parts of that movie that, like, I was like, demonic ghosts don't have foots like
Yeah.
but no, that was too much for me. So yeah,
It is. Yeah. It's that was a very uncomfortable movie. Very scary. You know, you can look around your house before you go to bed, but you're not going to go check your attic every night before you go to bed to make sure there's no spirits
yeah,
there,
exactly.
you know?
Yeah,
So it's like, I don't know, put a padlock on your attic, and that would make you sleep better.
every house that I've moved into, or the last two houses we bought especially, I'm like praying that it's not haunted.
Yeah.
Like, oh, good investment, at least it's not haunted. So
There you go. Well, yeah, if that's your biggest fear, I think you're going to be all right the rest of your life.
nice.
You
Yeah.
got that going for you.
So should we do that guy's an asshole, or
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it.
All right. So basically that guy's an asshole. This is a little bit of a segment idea we have. We basically just kind of we're particular guys, both of us, I'd say, and people frequently piss us off, and I just like to kind of vent about it. It makes me feel a little bit better. So we'll take turns kind of sharing some examples of people being an asshole.
Yep, sounds good, man.
Yeah.
You want to start us off?
Sure. So I'll tell you what guy's kind of an asshole, and it's a little bit about the way he looks. You know, he's in shape in kind of an irritating way, and just has a little smugness to him, a little bit more than he should. Thinks he's a little too cool, you know.
Sure.
But this guy will come to the train station, and he will get there early, and he'll set the umbrella down as a placeholder for himself in line, and then go sit undercover to get out of the rain, while the other 200 passengers single file form a line behind his nasty ass little umbrella.
Yep.
Yeah, so that guy's a fucking asshole, man.
He's an asshole.
That is an asshole. So yeah, no doubt about that.
I hope word gets back to him and he realizes, the mistakes he's done.
Yeah, no doubt.
So recently traveled, obviously went to the airport. It seems like everyone's an asshole there. Security to, front desk people. But the biggest assholes at the airport are the people who go stand right when they start allowing people to board the plane. These people who are in like row 31 are right up front blocking everyone, so you can't even get onto the airplane Sorry, let me take a step back.
I hate that person. It's the person I think you're talking
so
about.
So it's the people who stand right up front,
Yes.
blocking the line, so you can't even get on because they're waiting for their seat to be called or their row to be called.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't even get by them. It's like, motherfucker, you're the fifth person to be called here. You're
Yeah.
the fifth group.
Get out of my way.
Exactly.
Wait your fucking turn.
Exactly.
Yeah, hey, why are people lining up to get on the airplane? I mean, if everyone took my mentality, I guess we'd never load. But I don't care what row I'm at. I'm waiting until all the sardines are packed into the can before getting on there and squishing in and breathing in the carbon dioxide or whatever.
Yeah, the only concern is getting a spot for your luggage up above if you're
good
carrying
point.
on. That's the only reason. Yeah. Other than that, get on at the last second.
All right. Well, so fuck that guy. He's
Guy's an asshole. Took me a while, but we got there.
I actually don't have my notes in front of me, so I'm trying to remember the other assholes that I had interacted with. I was thinking about this asshole. So they changed our bonus policy at my work, and now instead of company performance, we're basically comped on our sales team hitting their number. And the guy that's an asshole to me is the junior salesperson that I see pouring a beer on the engineering floor in a coffee cup to hide it, not owning it, not making cold calls. Bro, that's an asshole.
That's an asshole.
Have that beer on Friday. Make some calls, millennial. Are you kidding me? And if you're going to have a beer in the middle of the day, own that shit, dude. Don't put that in a coffee cup. That guy's an asshole, man.
Yeah, he is an asshole.
Hit those numbers, bro. Let's go. We're all working at this together. So,
all right. So my next that guy's an asshole is the average home brewer. I can't stand people who brew their own beer because for a couple reasons. One, first of all, I brew a lot of my own beer.
Yeah,
that's annoying in and of itself that I'm.
But you guys are below average, right? So it's okay.
We're way above, way above. But if you start talking to people that are home brewers and they find out that you brew, they're like, oh, let's swap beers, let's swap recipes, call me on your next brew day, like I'll come hang out for fucking 8 hours. It's like, dude, I don't want to even hang out with my friends for 8 hours. What makes you want to think I want to hang out with a stranger for 8 hours? So I think all homebrewers are assholes on some level, and I'll even take part of it because I shouldn't even be announcing that I'm a home brewer. That's a dick move.
Oh no, I'll let you off the hook for that one. But yeah, people who are trying to crowbar their way into my social plans is an asshole. You guys aren't asshole homebrewers though. You share.
No, we don't want to. We feel obligated.
All right.
We get pressured into it.
I think my last one, I'm not even going to say that guy is an asshole. I'm just going to talk about the person in general who farts in a small space. That's just, I can think of some specific examples. I'm not sure how much reach this podcast is going to have, so
not much.
I'll keep the details light.
I think you could share the person's first and last name if you like. It's not going to get back to him.
But if it's going to happen, and it's a non-audible, I think you have to say, excuse me. You got to let people have the opportunity to leave.
No way, dude. You don't say a word. You do not. Don't claim that.
I think the person who farts in a small space is an asshole. So that's an asshole.
That's an asshole.
All right.
I'll give that to you. And my last asshole is just because.
You got 4. All right.
No.
I should have had my notes.
You started. I've only had 2.
Okay, good.
But yeah, this one is another Disneyland one where it's the guy who's on the ride and he's like quoting all of the music while you're on the ride, and he's like trying to tell everyone how cool he is, how many times he's been on this ride. It's kind of like black people at movie theaters, just like talking through it, and it's just very distracting.
I see. But
that guy's an asshole.
Yeah, he's like, you guys are just on a nice little ride.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. We're just going through.
Is there an Aladdin ride? I just picture him being like, a whole new world. Oh, is there no Aladdin ride?
No, but if there is, you should definitely do the audio.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, hey, let's hear from one of our non-sponsors. Someone who could be paying us some money, but they're not. And then we will come back and do a little embarrassing our wives and wrap up.
Great. Sounds good.
All right.
This segment could have been brought to you by Tillamook Cheddar Cheese. Tillamook Cheddar Cheese makes the greatest grilled cheese sandwiches in the world. Very easy to make. Find the whitest bread you can find. Get a ton of butter, throw it in a pan. You got yourself a delicious ooey gooey sandwich. Lunch, breakfast, dinner, it's good for all occasions. Sometimes for breakfast, you're grabbing the cereal, you're gonna chomp down on some Cocoa Puffs incorrectly, rip up the top of your mouth. No one wants to start their day off like that. I know I don't. So the next time you're making yourself a nice grilled cheese sandwich, make sure you grab the Tillamook Medium Cheddar. If you don't like grilled cheese sandwiches, you're a communist.
All right. Thank you so much for that message from a non-sponsor. And go ahead and email us TEOW podcast@gmail.com if you want to sign up and start paying us some money. We have plenty of room for subscribers. And I'm sure after that dynamite, that guy's an asshole segment where I didn't have my notes, people are going to be lining up out the front door. But hey, but man,
we just lost another listener. We're down to 3.
Little nasiler than normal there. Am I sensing? Yeah?
A lot. Yeah, a lot. Do you have allergies?
I don't know. I feel like, not really, no. I don't think so. There was one year I thought I did, but I might have just been hungover and puffy or something.
Yeah. Have you ever been tested?
Yeah, I was, but not for like seasonal allergies, or then I don't, because it was like a little allergic to wheat. That's about it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was tested a few years ago. First of all, I'm allergic to everything. So what they do is they basically they scratch a little bit of each allergen into your arm, and they do it like 16 different types. 15 out of 16, I was the highest. I was outside of the highest range for allergies. Yeah, it was really bad. So that's why my house is always clean.
Yeah.
And
that's why you guys never come over to our house anymore. I just realized.
Yeah, exactly. I take a few allergy pills I take a few rails of those. But allergies are crazy, right? Because how have we not figured this out? Like, how is my body so fucking stupid that it's trying to fight off things like pollen? You know,
Yeah.
we haven't come a long way. They're like, oh, you can take an allergy shot, which kind of helps each month, or you can take these allergy drops under your tongue, which kind of gets your body more used to a steady dose of these allergies, which is just we can't do anything better than this.
Yeah.
This is so stupid that we're like fighting cancer with taking people's cells out, reprogramming them,
Yeah.
and putting them back into these people. And it's like, whatever money we're spending on this cancer shit, we
Yeah.
need to stop and refocus that money on allergies, because that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And then once I get cancer, I need that money to
Yeah.
go back to cancer research.
Yeah. Well, looking at my family tree, you don't got my support there at all. Cancer. And
Well, no
Alzheimer's,
allergies
let's
in
get
your
going.
family.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why.
Yeah. Well, fuck that. You little snotty nose, little no. No, it's a beast. I get it. And so yeah, I mean, Karen has them pretty bad, so she's taking Allegra all the time, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Does she take the shots or the drops?
I think just pills. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not like you like. So when you come over, do you like take the time release off and like chop it up and snort it, like going to the
Exactly.
Kipper's house?
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, let's try this embarrassing our wives segment. I think this podcast alone, as they listen to it, will probably embarrass them pretty well. But I'll pull out I have one memory, and as this progresses, there'll probably be funnier and more outrageous weeks than others. But I can think of one moment myself, and so let's go ahead and get started.
Sounds good.
All right. So my embarrassing my wife story dates back to a while. So when planning for this podcast and digging through pictures to find some good stuff for the cover, we just found ourselves going through 15 years of pictures of memory lane, and I tell you, there was a good amount of time there where just thank you so much, Karen, for sticking with me. I mean, I must have been the palest, fattest, smoothly shaven pig of all. Just compared to how skinny I was. I mean, she falls in love with me when I'm a skinny little anorexic dude, and thank God she loved me then. But then the period, and I was so confident. So I'm sorry for embarrassing my wife during that 7-year period. I don't know why I was shaving. We made 2 kids during that time. I mean, so she was obviously still, indulging me.
Yeah.
She must have been thinking about when my ass was all skinny. I mean, I don't know. So that's how I embarrassed my wife, looking back at years of pictures and just, thanks for sticking with me, man.
Yeah.
You can go to the website to see a few of those pictures, I'm sure. Anything, not that I'm glamorous now, dude, but dude,
What?
I'm rough. So yeah, that's my embarrassing my wife moment for this week.
I like how you said you were clean shaven and basically fat and ugly. It's like clean shaven doesn't go along with the other 2 things.
When you have
said.
like the round face that I had, it just stood out. It looked like my head looked like I was Beetlejuiced. When they shrink the heads and Beetle. Damn. All right. I don't mean to be so hard on myself, but
you looked
those
a little hungry.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, Karen, thank you. I mean, I was confident. I was mean to her. I looked like that, and I was mean to her, and she still got into bed with me. I mean, how lucky could I have been?
What's wrong with her?
All right.
Well, mine's pretty recent. The last time I embarrassed my wife was about 2 weeks ago. I'm a big fan of chick music, big fan of Sarah Bareilles, Colby Calais, all Kesha, all the greats, right?
Nice.
So I wanted to get some Taylor Swift tickets, obviously, which is coming up on May 22nd or something in Seattle, and all the tickets are really expensive and really high up, and I don't go to shows unless I'm pretty close, right? I want to make eye contact, creepy eye contact with the artist. So of course I had Sarah go reach out to one of her coworkers. The coworker's husband works on the tour and basically gets a certain amount of allotted tickets that you can buy for face value. They just store all these tickets, for people who work there. So
for
Sarah,
daughters of friends and family. Go on.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. For 13-year-old girls.
Yeah.
So Sarah had to go with her head down and go ask her coworker, for a hookup
Yeah.
on Taylor Swift tickets, which she did. And now we're sitting front row on the first level up on the side, and I'm super excited. But if I was there, I'd be like, no, I don't have that hookup. I'm not going to get you shit because it makes me look terrible.
That's a hell of a favor to call in. That's like a major favor, for you, yeah.
Yep.
Hate is gonna hate. Hey, I love that one. Taylor.
Yeah.
Take a selfie.
Tay.
All right. Yeah, you definitely embarrassed her with that one. That's good.
All right. And to be honest, that's that's just a recent one. I've embarrassed her much worse in the past. With like a tear rolling down my eye at Cerberillas, and she's standing there next to me like, what the fuck's going on here? So, I think
about her posting your ass up and drilling threes on the basketball court when she embarrassed you. But that's a different segment. Maybe that will be a future segment. So
never happened, dude. She was cheating that whole time.
All right, good. All right, well, there'll be much more of that. So thanks for sharing. Let me know how Taylor goes. When is that coming up?
It's in like 8 weeks or something.
Nice. Yeah. I can't wait to hear about that.
You want to go?
No, I don't want to be that far up. Yeah. So I'll let you manage that.
All right. I'll report back.
All right. Good. Well, listen. I thank you all for listening again. Last time we experienced, I think, 400 or 500% listener growth, and so we're expecting that. Please follow us, subscribe to us on iTunes, leave a rating, leave a review, share this with all your friends, unless you work with me, and then don't do that till post event when I can afford to possibly get fired. You can visit our website, TEOW TEOW, and that's gonna die after this, just so you know. That's
I'm keeping it going.
Back around. Or you can follow us on Twitter at TEOW podcast. Stop. So thank you so much, and have a great day. See you in a month.
All right, thanks everyone.